Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Come join me as I take you through a little garden tour of my shade garden. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it is Jenny. Here we are today at our house, and this is in front of my one little shade bed that we have at our house. We built our house in the middle of a wide open field, and so therefore I have tons of sun. But this sweet little bed behind me is one of my absolute favorites because it is a shade garden due to our house and the way that the sun goes. So it mostly gets shade. It does get some morning sun. So you might be seeing the sun coming up and it putting some sun on these great plants. Really, these plants get about 4 hours of morning sun, and then that is it. This is right outside of our kitchen, so this big window behind me is where our kitchen table is. Then down further we have another window. So when I was planning this bed, I wanted to keep things nice and low, so I never had to have to worry about it competing for my windows or blocking any views from the inside out. I wanted to use lots of shade perennials and annuals to give me lots of colors and textures and interest throughout the spring, fall, and even in the winter months. So we're just going to go through and kind of show you some of the great plants that are in here and my thinking behind them and when I planted them in here. So big window right here. We look out of this window all the time. Here I have in the very center is the zebra hydrangea. Love this zebra hydrangea because it only gets to be about 4 feet tall by about 3 feet wide. It has black stalks with beautiful white blooms on it. So it'll be a nice center point right here. I planted it last year, so it's still kind of small. I don't mind that because I get to watch it grow. Flanked behind it on either side is the gold heart bleeding heart. Y'all, clearly these plants love this spot because they have probably like quadrupled in size in just 1 year. So again, bleeding hearts do that beautiful, delicate pink blooms. They're there. Then in front of it, I have these 3 lady in red ferns. Perennial ferns, love the shade. They are just still coming up. They're still sending up new fronds. Absolutely a great, delicate, but really interesting fern. I love them. Then to add in some color, I put in some annuals. I put in the Diamond Snow Euphorbia from Proven Winners. Last year I found that this edge of the bed gets a little bit more sun just because of the way the cut of the roof. So I had some double impatiens right here and they really just got too much sun. So I said, hey, we'll throw some white in here with the Diamond Snow because it can do obviously full sun to part sun. So I put them in here and so far things are doing great. I have lots of Broalia from Proven Winners. This is the Endless Flirtation, which is a blue. I hope I can remember this. There's Endless Flirtation and Endless Illumination. One's blue, one's white. We'll figure it out. We'll put it on the screen and make sure you get the right information. So that is throughout the bed in different areas. Then I have PW's Rockampulco Double Impatiens in rose. Absolutely gorgeous. If you think you can't have flowers in the shade, then you need to get these plants because they just give you gorgeous double blooms all season long and make a great mound, massive color in your shade. Again, they can only do a little bit of morning light, otherwise they just don't perform as well. So moving on down, I just have tons of hostas. I mean, look at this. Look at these gorgeous hostas. Just tons of different ones that I have collected over the years. My mama has given me some. I have, of course, bought some. This is Proven Winners Autumn Frost. It is loving life this year and just continues to grow and get bigger. So it's in there. I have astilbes that are going to come up and bloom later on in the season. Astilbes are great because typically they are shade plants that are flowering perennials. These can actually do sun to shade depending on how much water you give them. So they're going to be just beautiful, fine plumes of blooms later on in the season. Back here in the back is my beloved holly fern. I got this from my sweet friend Annette in Texas when we went to go visit them a couple of years ago. So I have dubbed it Annette's holly fern. So Annette's holly fern is wonderful. It is, if you're looking for a fern that you still have texture and interest even in the winter, this is a great one. Where my lady in reds will go away in the winter, the holly fern is an evergreen. So even in the wintertime, I still have structure here. Wiggles and Squiggles. Look at this. How fun is that? And that name, Wiggles and Squiggles Hosta. So they're poked down through here. Also great lime green, chartreuse color with lots of ruffled edges. Low growing, makes it perfect in the front of your bed. Brunaria, Queen of Hearts from Proven Winners. Very similar in habit and growing patterns of a hosta, but it gets very hairy texture on its leaves. And so therefore it is more deer resistant than your hostas. So if you have shade area, but you also have a deer problem and hostas don't work, you might want to try the Queen of Hearts because it does these great massive leaves of that silver foliage. And of course you can see the sweet true blue blooms that happens in the springtime. We're getting kind of near the end of its bloom season right now, but it will get nice and big just like a hosta. So that's a great one. Sun King Spikenard, bring me some bright pop of color, that lime green color. I've got two of them right here. They can get like 3 to 4 feet wide and tall. So this is my window that is right above my kitchen sink. So I don't mind that these guys could get taller, but they're never going to compete with my window. So I can still see out, but still have some height and texture. This year it was new. I added in this container. So don't be afraid to throw containers into your landscape, into your beds, because again, it brings height to this area. These are all annuals. These are all Proven Winners. I have the white broalia. I have Snow Princess, which is a great sweet alyssum that will spread. And then the Silver Falls dichondra, which I just think it adds a nice flair to that pot. Coming on down, we have Linton Roses. Linton Roses are a fantastic perennial because they give you blooms in the dead of winter. They are just this fantastic, hardy, deer-resistant, evergreen perennial with these absolutely gorgeous blooms. They come in all sorts of colors, so really you get to choose what you want. These are the old blooms. So you can see they've turned a nice limey green. So even in the summer, when everything else is in all of its glory, I still have nice structure here. Have a Proven Winners hydrangea. Can you sense the theme of hydrangeas through this whole bed? I love it. So this is Let's Dance Diva, and I have buds on it already. So I'm super excited to have buds on my hydrangea. Again, another hydrangea that is dubbed, named after the friend that gave it to me. We've been in our house for 16 years. She gave this to me as a housewarming gift. So this is Frannies Hydrangea. We don't actually know what type of hydrangea it is. We think it might be a waterfall hydrangea, but by everyone who knows this hydrangea, it is simply Frannies Hydrangea. It's big. So this year I decided to do a little test because I don't know what kind it is. It blooms extremely late in the season, so I have not cut this back this year because I want to see if it will bloom earlier. So this is a little experiment. Normally I just cut it all the way to the ground and let it have new growth. Then I get the blooms. I'm talking like September, October, late blooms. So hopefully this year I will get early blooms that will go all through the season. I'll keep you posted on Frannies Hydrangea. And then we're almost to the end of the bed. This area gets a little bit more sun because it will come through the afternoon. You can see the morning light is starting to hit it. Solomon Seal. Solomon Seal is an amazing perennial. It is one of the early bloomers. They do these beautiful arches of delicate white blooms on it. It is very sweet. It spreads. It is not invasive, but it does spread by rhizomes on the top of the ground. So if you can get some Solomon Seal, or you know somebody that has some, I almost can guarantee you that they would be happy to share some of their Solomon Seal with you. I thinned this out a lot last year, and you can see it has filled in great. I have it on both sides. Have some native eucharas growing right here that Jerry started from seed years ago. Again, they are loving life. Don't remember the name. They're doing great though. One more Proven Winners hydrangea is right here. And then underneath it, we have the Proven Winners annual. This is Terenia, and it's the large blue. It makes this massive carpet, y'all. Last year, I had 3 plants just like this, and it made this gorgeous carpet underneath this hydrangea. The bumblebees and the honeybees went crazy over it. So I would hear this constant buzz, and it was just the bees going for this Terenia. Another perennial fern. This is a ghost fern. It is coming up. I love it because it has a great silver color to it, and it has deep, dark veins on it. It is absolutely gorgeous. But this is just a quick little tour of my shade garden. I hope it is giving you some inspiration. If you have a shady area in your yard, have fun. This whole bed has evolved over the last 16 years. For right now, it is exactly how I want it, but I'm sure in a couple of years, I'll probably change some things up. So don't be afraid to have fun, play. If you don't like it, it's okay. You can always start over, save the plants, moving them somewhere else. That's the joy of gardening, is that things are always changing. You don't have to be stuck with the same thing year after year. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. Have a wonderful day, and we will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.